Good morning, YouTube friends. It's Friday the 22nd. I'm doing the weekly update, the new edition of it, and telling you how the week went, which wasn't all that bad. Did 2 loads and had a dry run. 2,498 paid loaded miles. 721 miles of deadhead, which included that dry run in there. Made $2,426.20. So you figure time you take off, gas and everything, about $1,800. I can give you the exact number. Hell, I like exact numbers. Should have figured that again beforehand, but I didn't. But it only takes a second to figure that up. So we did, let's see, 98 plus 721 equals, okay, we had $500 in gas. Take that off. All right. Minus the 500. Minus the van. Minus the insurance. $1,650. And it's still slow out here, but you know, I got a load that was 1,719 miles out of Texas up in here in Ohio, which is where I'm at in northern Ohio by the lake. All in all, good week. It's still running a little hit and miss out here. Some drivers are not doing well, some are doing okay. Doing okay. It depends where you're at. I keep telling people things aren't running really the way they should right now. Where you think is good won't be. And so it's hit or miss. Now, I got 2 options today. At the end of the day, if I don't have anything, I'm heading home. I'm only 200 miles away, 3-hour drive. It's $25. I'll go home. I'll sit there over the weekend. No reason to sit up here and look at the pilot parking lot, which is what I'm doing. So that's stupid. I'll just go home, relax. But you know, I ran into Will. Hi, Will. Nice meeting you down there in Texas. Ran into Will, a new guy who watched the channel, came out running with I think it's Bolt. We met up there loading up, which was fun, and that was fun to do. Well, yep, I got that one in there. So, yeah, I did. Make sure I got all the miles in that I should have, because that went on the end of the week last week. Okay, so yep, basically 2,500 miles, 700 deadhead. 1 dry run, which paid for all the deadhead, and most of the mileage, you know, would be included in that. So, yeah, it wasn't a bad week. You know, didn't get rich, and that's what I want people to understand. You don't get rich out here. You do it in little pieces. The week before, fantastic. This week, drops again. Now, as long as it stays like this, you try to average 2,500 miles a week, and that's what you shoot for. To be honest. Now, I had a subscriber ask about paperwork. Now, what you're going to do on paperwork is 2 things. And let me get one out and I'll show it to you. Hold on. Yep. Get my book with here. I cannot show you a bill of lading from a customer. It's not permitted. But I can show you what a blank bill of lading. Now, the customer's looks different, but I can show you what a blank bill of lading looks like. Because you're going to get 2 things out here. One is something like, get it out of here. You can get the ones like the office provides us, this, and you just fill it out. And if you run out of those, you can stop and get blank ones, which look like that. These are bills of lading. Okay, this is what your paperwork looks like. Now, generally speaking, you will get paperwork from the shipper. You don't, you got to fill that out. But you're going to get paperwork from the shipper. Always ask for 2 copies. If they give you one, say, can I get another copy? They'll make you another copy, no problem. Because you're going to have the customer sign the one you keep, and you turn that into the office, and then you're going to basically keep the customer will keep a copy that you deliver to, and then you'll have the copy for yourself. You get a copy for you, a copy for the customer. That's why you need 2. So the bill of ladings I showed you, the first 2 have multiple copies. and give one to the shipper. They ask for it, tear it off, hand it to them. Generally they don't give you paperwork. And so you always have a copy, hard copy for yourself, because most places out there are going to use a program. It's called Transflow. And Transflow, it's an app on the phone. You take a picture of it, hit send, and it sends it to your company. So they get an instant copy of the signature, the BOL, everything on it. So it's all on there. You send it straight to them. And then you mail the other copy. Some make you mail it immediately. We don't have to. So you mail it in. So paperwork's relatively simple out here, folks. But on the paperwork, you can get into some really interesting things. Like, the one thing you're going to be told, like, we use an app. Select this, and most Bolt and them use the same app. So, you know, most carriers are using something like that. It sends you over the information. It'll show you the date of pickup, where you're picking up at, the time you're supposed to be there to pick up is called your Protect time, and where it's going to go, the date it's delivered, and your Protect time on delivery. Simple as that. So it's all spelled out. Then it tells you number of pieces and weight, and those are always wrong. just so you know. Like this one here was one skid at 102 pounds actually. Shows up on the phone, one skid at 350. You gotta call it in, they say it's good to go, you take off the address where it's going is the destination address. I'm cross-docking. You'll learn what a cross-dock is real quick out here. You're gonna take it to an address that's not on the bill of lading. You're gonna get an address, you know. Some of the bigger ones out there, Universal, they're a big cross-dock. It'll say you're going to GM, say Detroit, but that's what's on the paperwork. But what's on your phone is you're going to Universal, to different address down the street. That's where it goes. GM doesn't want it on their property. It's going to be stored there, stocked. They actually break it down and shuttle the material back and forth. It's their warehouse facility. So Universal's big. You'll probably see it when you get out here. But other than that, it's nice and sunny up here. Been busy. I mean, you know, driving 1,700 miles. Oh, it was a nice drive. And I actually spent the night at the house. I mean, delivery for the first one would have been about now. I delivered it yesterday. Both of them were delivered. I had two pickups for the same company coming up here. They were 10 miles apart. So, you know, how do you get paid on that? It's very simple. You get paid stops. I got paid 2 extra stops, or $50. Your company will do it? Don't know. Me, I got 2 stops, so I got $50 to drive 10 miles. You know, it's $50. Thank you very much. Into the old pocket for 10 miles. That's roughly $5 a mile. Ain't too bad. You know, but you know, you got to take it in, deliver it, and everything. So one thing you'll learn is you'll pick up in shipping. Always go to the shipping office. Then you're going to deliver to receiving. Always go to the receiving office. Now, if they want you to do something else, they'll tell you there. I tell people this all the time because they need to know where to go when they go in these places. They've never done it before. Where do you go? Pick up and shipping, drop off and receiving. Okay? They may send you somewhere else, but that's where you're going to go. Also, you're going to have what's called a pickup number. Be sure you have a pickup number if you're going into an automotive plant, because without that number, they don't know squat. That's the number they use to key it in. They tells them what they actually forgot. Without it, they don't know. And some docks, like cross docks down in Texas, that number is critical, or they can't find the freight. So you'll get a pickup number. You're going to have to call your dispatcher and get the pickup number. But other than that, it's really relatively simple. This is, you pick it up, you secure it. Make sure you secure the freight. We'll do a video on securing freight here later. But make sure it's tied down. You don't want that stuff moving around the back. You hit the brake, stuff all flies forward, falls off, smacks into you, could hurt you, tear up stuff, tear up the freight. You gotta be careful of that. So you want to make sure that freight's good and secured, so it's not moving around. You have to use the right straps and things to do that, and we will go over that. And then you get there and you just take it off. They'll forklift it off, and away it goes. Very simple. So not a bad week. Was pretty busy, to be honest, because the first load out was almost 800 miles. That's a day's driving. I picked it up at night, so I got probably a good 7 hours sleep that night. And yesterday's, I mean, I left out, when was it? Wednesday night at 9 o'clock out of Texas. Or, no, was it Tuesday night, 9 o'clock out of Texas. I drove or about 7 hours, still in Texas. From down in the bottom up, it's a 12-hour drive, in case you're wondering. Don't think you're ever going to get the hell out of Texas. But I got out finally at around noon. But I slept for 7-8 hours. I had plenty of time because my next thing was I'm over 1,000 miles from my house, which is 200 miles from delivery. So I drove straight to my house. Then I drove yesterday up here and dropped it off. Always know what you're doing before you do it. Always have a plan, because it always makes your life easier out here knowing what you're actually. I think I'm going to do. No. Figure it out. I'm going to land here. Where am I at? Now I'm in the middle of everything, so I may as well sit here, which is what I'm doing. So today I'll call in here in an hour or so and say, hey, how's it looking? Should I move? What do you think? Communication with your dispatch is important, because that tells you what you need to do. So all in all, good week. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Get me 1,000 subscribers, folks. Got to get up there. I want to look good on YouTube. Talk at y'all later.